Go to any CRNA program's website and read what they're looking for in applicants. You'll see it everywhere: grit, resilience, perseverance. Cool. But here's the problem: telling a committee I have grit is the same as telling them nothing. Because every single applicant says they have grit. Every personal statement ends with, "I know CRNA school will be challenging, but I'm ready." What actually gets you in? Evidence. Specific, concrete, undeniable proof. Today I'm going to break down exactly what admissions committees mean when they say grit and show you how to prove it throughout your entire application. First, why do they care so much? Because CRNA school is brutal. Not difficult. Brutal. Here's what you're signing up for: 60 to 80 hours per week of lectures, clinicals, and studying. Sleep deprivation: clinical starts at 5 a.m., you study until midnight. Imposter syndrome surrounded by brilliant peers. Financial stress with zero income for 2 to 3 years and loans piling up. High stakes: failing an exam or clinical rotation can mean dismissal. Life upheaval: relationship strain, social life disappears. The attrition rate across programs is 5 to 20%. That means 1 in 5 people who start CRNA school don't finish. Programs don't want to invest 2.5 years in someone who quits when it gets hard. So they look for people who have already proven they can push through difficulty. That's what they mean by grit. Psychologist Angela Duckworth defined grit as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. Not talent. Not intelligence. The ability to keep pushing when things suck. CRNA programs specifically care about 2 things. 1. Perseverance of effort. Can you stick with something difficult over years, even when progress is slow? 2. Consistency of interests. Do you have a track record of sustained commitment, or do you jump from thing to thing? Schools want to see both. Not just effort for a month. Years of sustained effort. Here's the key insight: admissions committees aren't reading your application looking for the word grit. They're scanning for evidence. What kind of evidence? Academic resilience. Failed organic chemistry, retook it, got an A. Went back to school at 35 while working full-time. Earned your degree while dealing with a serious illness or disability. Clinical persistence. Stayed in a challenging ICU for 4 to 5 years instead of job hopping. Worked through a difficult preceptorship or toxic work environment. Kept showing up through personal hardship, illness, family crisis, loss. Long-term commitment to anesthesia. Shadowed CRNAs for 100+ hours over 2 years, not a one-time visit. Maintained mentorship relationships over years, not weeks. Sought out leadership roles, charge nurse, preceptor, quality improvement. What they don't count is grit. I've always wanted to be a CRNA without effort behind it. I'm a hard worker, generic, no proof. One challenging week or month, not long term. CRNA school will be tough, but I'm ready, everyone says this. The difference between the 2 lists? Specificity and time. Your personal statement needs a grit narrative, a story arc that shows you've already faced something hard and came out stronger. Here's the structure that works. The challenge: a specific, real obstacle you faced. Your actions: exactly what you did to push through, not "I tried harder." The growth: what changed because you didn't quit. The connection: why this proves you'll make it through CRNA school. Let me give you a real example. When I started in the ICU, I nearly quit after 3 months. The complexity overwhelmed me: ventilators, pressors, CRRT, ECMO, and I felt like an imposter. My preceptor told me I might not be cut out for critical care. Instead of quitting, I committed to mastering 1 skill per month. I studied hemodynamics at home, took extra shifts to practice, and shadowed senior nurses on my days off. After a year, I was teaching new grads. After 3 years, I became charge nurse. That experience taught me something critical: I get better when things are hard. I don't run from complexity, I lean into it until I master it. CRNA school will test me in ways ICU nursing never did, and I know how to push through difficulty. I've done it before. Why does this work? Specific challenge, not vague struggle. Concrete actions, monthly skill practice, extra shifts, shadowing. Clear growth, imposter to charge nurse. Direct connection to CRNA school, this is transferable. Resume signals of grit. Years of ICU experience at the same institution, consistency. Promotions and leadership roles, charge nurse, preceptor, committees. Certifications earned alongside full-time clinical work, CCRN, ACLS, etc. No suspicious gaps, no job hopping every 6 months. Red flags that signal the opposite of grit. Short stints at 4 different hospitals in 3 years. Unexplained gaps in employment. No evidence of professional development beyond the minimum. For your letters of recommendation. Ask your letter writers to explicitly address grit and resilience. Give them these prompts. Can you describe a specific challenge I faced and how I responded? What have you observed about my work ethic over time, not just on good days? Can you describe how I respond to setbacks or high-stress situations? The best letters say things like, I've watched her tackle the steepest learning curve in our ICU and emerge as one of our strongest nurses. That's gold. That's what you want them writing. CRNA interviews almost always include behavioral questions about resilience. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Common grit questions you'll face. Tell me about a time you failed and what you learned. Describe a situation where you wanted to quit but didn't. What's the hardest thing you've ever done? Your answer to tell me about a time you failed. I failed my first CCRN exam after 3 months of studying. I had to decide whether to try again or move on. I analyzed my weak areas, changed my study method from passive reading to practice questions, and hired a tutor for pathophysiology. 6 months later, I passed with a high score. That failure taught me that my first approach isn't always right and that I can adapt when it isn't. Owns the failure. Shows problem solving. Demonstrates resilience. Proves self-awareness. Not everyone has a dramatic obstacle overcoming moment. That's okay, you can build grit right now. Commit to something hard for 6 to 12 months. Train for a marathon, sustained effort, measurable goal. Retake challenging courses while working in the ICU. Become CCRN certified, proves you can pass hard exams. Lead a quality improvement project at your hospital. Document your growth. Keep a journal. Write down challenges you faced each month and how you solved them. You'll have concrete material for your personal statement and interviews. Seek out discomfort. Cross-train from a less acute ICU to a higher acuity one. Start precepting new nurses. Teaching is harder than doing. Take night shifts if you've only worked days. The best grit stories come from voluntarily choosing hard things. Start choosing. If this video helped you understand what CRNA schools are actually looking for, smash the like button, subscribe for more CRNA content, and check the description for all the resources I mentioned. Your application is more than a GPA and an ICU job. It's a story, and your story needs to show resilience. Drop a comment below. What's your grit story? What's the hardest thing you faced in your nursing career? I genuinely love to know. And if you're managing your CRNA application, check out CRNA Tracker at crnatracker.com. It's free, and we help you stay on top of every requirement and deadline across 100+ programs. Thumbnail prompt. Bold text overlay. CRNA schools want grit with subtext. What does that actually mean? Show an ICU nurse in a challenging moment or a person pushing through difficulty. Dark blue/gold color scheme. CRNA Tracker logo in corner. Publish date suggestion, Thursday or Saturday. High engagement topic, weekend research behavior. SEO focus keywords, CRNA school grit, CRNA personal statement resilience, CRNA admissions tips, how to get into CRNA school application.